Hello, friends, and welcome into TexAgs Rewind, presented by Specs. We're in the Rollo Insurance Studio. I'm making my triumphant return to the Rewind. I like to watch people kind of struggle during the Rewind, but I also love when they do well. Right, Reed Neal?
That is true.
Anything you want to provide today on the Rewind?
My favorite part?
Sure, tell us.
Josh Pate, first of all. He's always usually my favorite. And I don't know if they're going to be on the Rewind, but the association is also really cool to listen to.
It was really good to hear.
Without fail.
He's over 2.
He's over 2.
Is Josh Pate not on either?
He gets his own thing. He's kind of a big deal.
Okay, then OB.
You don't have to get upset. It's okay.
I want to make it good for Nick.
It is great. This is great. This is part of what the Rewind is. Nick, what else is on the Rewind?
Well, like you said, OB, Charean Williams, you got Josh Pate, and you got Boomer White.
I can't follow that up. Just do it. Just do the Rewind. Go. Press the button. Now, quarterbacks that A&M is going to face this year. Not a lot of experience.
No.
Right? They're taking on a lot of quarterbacks who are either transferring to a new program and maybe didn't have the success that they thought they would have, or they just have very limited experience. I'm going to go through some of it.
Yeah.
Kind of went through, and the team in the back put some numbers together. Some of these games, I don't think matters that much, but I mean, from the quarterback perspective, we'll go through it. UTSA to open up on August 30th. Olin Buchanan from the famous McCown family.
Yeah.
I forget whose son he is. He was at UTSA. He's at UTSA. He transferred from Colorado. He's started every game for UTSA. So for Colorado last year. No, he did not.
Oh,
That's wrong. I don't know why it says, for UTSA. So he's the starter. And I'm not worried about that game. I kind of want to get to the games of substance, but I'm just going to at least tell you the quarterbacks. Apparently, Spencer Petras is supposed to be the Utah State quarterback.
Okay.
But now the ones that we want to get into. I heard a conversation on the way to work today from a Notre Dame insider on Cannell and Dusty's show. And basically, Marcus Freeman wants to have 2 quarterbacks for August camp. He doesn't want a 3-way. So somebody could transfer. And Steve Angeli might be that one who transfers because apparently Kenny Minchie, had a really good spring game. CJ Carr seems to have all the tools. Angeli had the great half in the playoffs last year and a great drive to come back in. But it looks like it's been a musical chairs throughout spring, at least according to this insider, that he wouldn't be surprised if Angeli would be the one that left. But Angeli apparently last year said he would cut off his left arm to be the starting quarterback at Notre Dame. So,
well, I hope he throws with his right then.
Yeah. Or actually, when he plays A&M, I hope he throws with his left.
I mean, I'm not close to the program. Angeli looks like a good, solid quarterback. Maybe the other guys have higher upside.
Yeah. Carr, 5-star recruit, Angeli limited in-game reps. So that's a little bit for Notre Dame.
So, hey, Charean, I was looking at a couple of mock drafts just last night. One of them had Shamar Stewart going with the 32nd pick, the last pick in the first round of the Eagles, which I would hate. And one of them had him going wherever the Bengals are picking, and pretty high with the Bengals. So what do you think is more likely to be accurate or closer to being accurate?
He's not going 32nd. Whoever did that one, don't read that one ever again. He's going to go far earlier than that. He's going to be higher than that. He's going to be a higher draft pick than that. I'm going to be surprised if he doesn't go with top 15.
Okay.
A lot I have seen is Bears, Panthers. One had the Steelers taking him. So, somewhere I think in that top 15 to at least the top 20. But I'm not going to be surprised if he's his top 10 pick. I'm really not. The way he's performed this offseason with the Senior Bowl performance and then the Combine Pro Day, all that combined, he just had a great postseason, pre-draft, whatever, that has really impressed scouts. So, I think he's got a chance to go in the top 10, but, he's going to go higher than 32nd. I would be shocked if he goes 32nd. I think there's a chance that Nick Gordon sneaks in the bottom of that first round. It's depending on how those edge rushers play out. If there's a big rush on the edge rushers, I think you're going to see a chance that he gets back in and goes in the first round. But there's got to be kind of a run on edge rushers there, and we know how valuable they are in the NFL. So that could be a possibility too. If not, he's going to go early in the second day.
Did you see the Cowboys getting interested in Nick Gordon?
I could see that. I don't think they would do it in the first round. I think they're looking more offense in the first round. I think they'll go receiver, running back, probably receiver. If one of those two receivers is there, top receivers, Tet or Matthew Golden, they'll go that direction. And if not, then they probably go running back. So I don't think they're looking for edge rusher in that first round. But if he's still there in the second round, absolutely, I think they're interested.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it over here. It's from an opposing quarterback perspective, I'd call it a real high risk, high reward type of lineup. Because, if you think about all these names I'm about to list, and you think about the best case panning out, Jackson Arnold could be what people expected of him out of high school. DJ Lagway could be what we saw towards the end of last year. Garrett Nussmeier could be the best guy in the league. I would say Sellers at the high end could challenge for that. And then Arch could be that as well. But all those guys have gigantic question marks on their forehead. Lagway because of injury as well as lack of overall proven production, and the others just that period. Then you start to ask from the A&M standpoint, okay, there's another variable there. Let's say all those guys do perform at no better than a B- to a B level. Well, then what kind of quarterback play is A&M getting? Because everyone can say the same thing about Marcel. So if you combine one of those and then you say Marcel gives you B+ level play, you could literally go 10-2 against that schedule. You could go 11-1 against that schedule. You could end up being, I wouldn't say a shocking team, but a mildly to moderately surprising team in the overall landscape of college football. I think about that. The two things I look at is your experience at quarterback, and then also how much staff turnover, not just head coach, but beneath head coach, have these staffs had. Like I remember I was at Missouri last year sitting down with Eli. He said, yeah, if I give you a stat, you promise you won't just go like yelling it everywhere? I said, yeah. And he showed me a chart of how much newness there was on the staffs that they were facing. There was like a specific data point that they were looking at. He said, I've never seen one of our schedules look like this before. We have never faced more new than we're facing. That doesn't guarantee anything, but he just kind of smiled. He said, isn't that something to pay attention to, don't you think?
I agree with that completely. And as for Marcel, the ceiling was what we saw against LSU, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what we saw against Florida. He was fantastic. The floor wasn't that bad for Marcel, but it still needs to be significantly better. Like his middle needs to be higher than his middle was. This past weekend and the weekend against Tennessee, outside of the Friday night game, has been fantastic. What has changed?
Man, I think I attribute it about 80-90% confidence. I think I don't think our team's gotten magically better as far as their talent level. I think that you're looking at a team that needed to be reminded by their play and by the results that they can be a top team in the country, and that they were in the national championship last year. And I think that until you see that play out and you see big swings and big execution under pressure, sometimes you can lie to yourself and you can say that you're there, but you really don't believe it. And I think we saw this team finally hit their stride, and maybe it was just a couple big innings. And that's all it took, and now they feel that confidence again.
Could you see maybe the lack of confidence when things were struggling, maybe in the dugout or watching them warm up? And can you see body language, something that seems different now?
Really where I see things from afar or when I'm in the booth is it usually takes a couple innings in the game. I think the beautiful thing about baseball is that you get to play almost every day. You get to come to the yard again and restart. And I think that, the team did a great job coming to the yard ready to play. And then they would get down. They would not execute with runners in scoring position. They would give up a big 2-out hit, whatever that may be. And then you would see the lack of competitive at-bats show up, the pressing, quick outs. And then I think you saw the confidence start lacking in big situations. But I don't think I saw that in the dugout. I don't think I saw that, at all times. I think when big moments arose and they didn't have that confidence, it would show its teeth, and the guys just weren't ready to answer the bell. And now I think that's changed a little bit.
Mr. Neal.
Yes. Go ahead.
Sure.
Okay. Make sure to watch and comment on TexAgs website or the YouTube channel, and then make sure to text to our hotline. It makes our jobs a lot easier.
It does. Thank you very much. Good work today. We'll see you guys next time.